Patrick Fee at the Avalon Theatre at MCTV, talking to some of the people involved with a brand new show up at Churchill Theatre that opened this weekend called 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. And right now I'm here with Mike Sousa, who's going to, we're going to talk a little bit about the show and what makes it interesting and special and different than some of the other musicals you might see around in the area. Hi Mike, how are you?
Hi Pat.
Talk a little bit about the show itself. What do you think makes it special or different as far as a musical is concerned?
Well, the show is about a spelling bee, the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and it looks at all of these characters who are maybe outcasts in their own lives, but when they come to the spelling bee, they're kind of the cool crowd. And I think what makes the show interesting is that it completely breaks the fourth wall. And so the audience is a 100% participant. I would even consider them maybe even a character.
And that makes a big difference there. We have adults playing kind of children. What's the age range of the spellers in the show?
Oh, I would say elementary, middle school age. I know myself, I'm 26 playing a 12-year-old. So, but middle school, elementary school.
Excellent. The show's running up at Churchill Theatre from September the 16th through October the 2nd. Fridays and Saturdays at 8 o'clock, Sundays at 2. You talk about audience participation. How does the audience participate in this particular show?
Well, at the beginning of the show, we actually take volunteers for people who want to be spellers in the spelling bee, and four contestants, I guess you would say, come up and are actually playing a role and get words and either get them right and continue or get them wrong and get booted.
So it's like recently we've seen on Broadway a number of musicals have audience actually on stage or somehow participating in a particular show.
Right. The one that comes to mind, I guess, would be like Spring Awakening, where you have people on stage, or I think Xanadu had people on stage, but they were really just as audience members. These people are there participating, spelling, interacting, so it's not just that you're sitting there watching, you are actually part of the show.
How do you ask for volunteers at the beginning of the show? How does that happen?
Yeah, and a question from the booth. How do you pick the volunteers for the show?
Well, before the show, we have one of our characters, Ronalisa Peretti, played by Brittney Lynn, who is in character and interacting, and she takes volunteers, and I think there's a form that they fill out in terms of some personal information that we would then use for characterization during the show, but it really is on a volunteer basis. You're not forced to be in the show.
Talk a little bit about your character in the show. What do you do?
I play Chip Tolentino, who, like I said, is 12 years old, and he is actually the winner of the 24th annual
last year's
Putnam County Spelling Bee, right? So the year before the show occurs, and so he's coming back to prove himself and to reclaim his title, and yeah.
Well, we're going to talk to a couple of the other people in the show. Personally, how do you feel? Were there any interesting moments for you? Or I know you've done musicals before, all around the area. Eastern Shore has a number of different theaters doing some great musical work.
Right.
What makes this show different for you, or what's been different for you as far as an anecdote or something you'd like to share?
Well, musicals often have such large casts that there is sometimes a divide between the people playing lead roles or featured roles and then people playing more ensemble parts. I think what's great about this show is that it's got 9 people. It's an absolute ensemble piece, and so I think there's been, within the cast, a lot of camaraderie, knowing that we're all on an equal plane and no one is, quote-unquote, the star of the show. And so it's very nice to just go and hang out with your friends and sing good music and play funny parts and yeah, hang out.
And there's some beautiful songs in this, as well as some rather funny ones as well, too.
Absolutely, yeah. This show has a great mix of that, like, emotional, kind of like tug on your heart kind of moments, but then also ones where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they just said that.
A great musical with probably the longest title and the most unheard of, at least in this area. Every person I've mentioned this show to says, excuse me, right. Or they think they're going to go to see an actual spelling bee. Mm-hmm. So it's unusual that way, but just was on Broadway in 2005?
I believe so, yeah. 2005, 2006. So it's very contemporary. And a lot
of people on this show from other Churchill productions, like the rock musical that was up recently, mm-hmm. Rocky Horror, mm-hmm. That was last year. This particular show was directed by Ricky Vatanovic, who was in the Rocky Horror picture or Rocky Horror show last year, and it's an interesting group. Like you said, it seems like a tight group. Mm-hmm. What did you have any problems or as far as singing, musically, is it a difficult musical as far as other ones you've been in?
Well, I think the challenge comes from the fact that it is so contemporary, and so it's not that traditional, maybe ballad style. It's challenging in that way. The harmonies are difficult. It's kind of jazzy. But again, that's what brings the music to life and makes the show fun.
If you wanted to tell people a reason for seeing this musical and seeing it in these next 3 weekends, mm-hmm. What's your elevator pitch? What would you tell them in a sentence or two why they should see it?
What I've been telling people, and kind of to make the pop culture reference, is that it's kind of like an episode of Glee, in that, again, you get these characters that are usually getting slushies thrown on them in their own school. But when they come together, it's that camaraderie, backstage and onstage of the group that really becomes kind of the hero. And I think that is a really interesting thing to watch, the outcast become the hero.
Well put. I'm talking to Mike Sousa here, the Churchill Theatre current production of the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, running from now through October the 2nd. Fridays and Saturdays at 8, Sundays at 2 o'clock. You can give them a quick call at 410-758-1331 or go to churchilltheatre.org and make your reservations today. Looks like we're going to have some great crowds there, and we'll look forward to seeing you. Thank you very much for your time, Mike.
The programs on MCTV Channel 15 are brought to you by Out of the Fire, the good things life has to offer. Kelly Distributors proudly serves licensed retailers on the mid and upper eastern shore of Maryland. Londonderry Retirement Community of Easton Incorporated, where residents enjoy a carefree way of life inspired from traditional Eastern Shore living. Thank you.
Ava's in downtown St. Michael's, Maryland serves a staple of gourmet pizzas featuring locally produced fresh ingredients. An ever-changing mix of entrees and sandwiches are fired in the brick oven on display in the main dining area. Ava's also features a diverse wine and international beer selection, as well as your favorite cocktail. And right across the street at Akai, an Eastern Shore native, executive sushi chef Tim Redmond has a fresh and frequently irreverent take on the traditional cuisine of Japan. Tim's artistic eye confidently allows experimenting with the traditional while still preserving the essential elements of time-honored Japanese cuisine. Ava's and Akai, open 7 days a week in downtown St. Michael's, Maryland.
I love you like grave danger, like moonshine in disguise.
This is Patrick Fee again with MCTV, right here in Avalon in downtown Easton. We're talking to a number of the actors who were involved in a brand new musical, opened just this weekend at Churchill Theatre, called the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. It's a mouthful, but it's a great new musical just from Broadway a few years back. And I want to talk to a couple more of the actors. And with me right now, I have both Shannon Whitaker, who plays Olive, and also Kyle Lindenberger, Lindenberger, there we go. Yes, I know you, who plays Leaf Coneybear. And wanted to just talk a little bit more about the musical. We were talking to Mike earlier. And get an idea of the group of people and you know, how much fun it is. Talk a little bit about our director and tell me what you think about the show. First, Shannon, you just graduated from high school?
Yes.
Where at?
I graduated from Queen Anne's County High School, and I'm a freshman full-time at Chesapeake College.
And what do you want to do moving towards a degree?
I'm actually thinking about majoring in musical theater or kind of going more towards a marine science one.
That's a nice mix.
Yeah.
There's using both sides of your brain there.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And Leaf, Kyle, you're still in high school now?
Yeah, I'm a senior at Queen Anne's County High School. So.
And what do you want to do when you get out of school?
I definitely want to do something with theater in college, whether I'm just doing the shows or just helping out. I really want to be like a theater teacher when I get older for like high schools and professionally maybe even like help people out with it. So
great,
definitely.
Excellent. Well, let's talk about this show because I know, Shannon, you've been in a lot of things up at Churchill. I know you've done a lot of theater, Kyle, in high school and whatnot. What makes this show fun and different?
I think the audience participation, it's what really brings it as a whole, because when we were in rehearsals and it was just the actors on stage, like, it never really came full circle, but then when you call up the volunteers up on stage, it kind of gives us more energy. And it's really cool because the audience members actually get to spell with you.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I'll talk a little bit about the director, Ricky Vitanovic. I know he is the drama teacher at Easton Middle and High School. How is he to work with as a director, and did he bring stuff out of you? Talk a little bit about him.
He's amazing. Like, definitely, like, it's been like a pleasure to work with him. He's really like pushed all of our like comfort zones and made us come out of them and really work on like ourselves as actors and work with characters that are so like out there. A lot of the characters are very out there, and he really helped us like push ourselves and put on a really good show, which is what we have.
Well, in the first segment, Mike was talking about all of these spellers kind of being the kids who get the slushies on them and Glee kind of things. Can you give me a sentence or two about your character and who they are?
Olive Ostrovsky is a really shy, kind of reserved girl. She has her dictionary, and she's not really close with her parents, but she's kind of in her own little world, and that's what makes her so unique, because she doesn't really have any friends, but she's okay with it.
And maybe an interesting idea for people to take away with it too, you know, that they can find something they can be happy with. And how about you, Leaf?
Oh, I play Leaf Coneybear, and he's technically not even supposed to be at the spelling bee because he came in 3rd place in his district, so technically he's not even supposed to be there, and he finds the whole bee very amusing. He enjoys being there and just really likes to have a good time, and he's in his own little world. He thinks of himself as like a superhero in his own mind, and he really just finds everything really amusing and interesting and loves watching all the other spellers and getting to be around other people.
Well, last night was opening night for the show. What didn't you expect with an actual live audience having their opening night? Because this is so much an audience participation show, I can see there would be a big difference between having an empty a hall while you're doing the rehearsal and actually having live people doing unexpected things.
Yeah, it makes it unique because not every show is going to be the same. But last night we actually had a speller who got one of the words right when it was a really hard word, and we were all surprised. We were like, oh, he got that one right. So, I mean, it kind of adds a new spin to it because you finally have someone spelling the words, and when someone gets a word right, I mean, you have to move on with it, but it puts a new twist and energy on the show because not one show is going to be the same.
And anything unique you think about this show as other ones you've worked with, Kyle?
Definitely with not just the people on stage spelling, but the audience, the people sitting in the audience. It's always like a constant like uproar of laughter because I mean like it's such a funny show and it's nonstop like singing and you know going up to the mic and spelling or you know just having little funny little like bursts from people out.
Hard to stay in character when people are laughing at weird times you don't expect?
The show has a lot of funny parts that kind of, I mean, I'm glad that we got to work with it for so long because we're used to the scenes. So we have to stay in character, but it's just some of the scenes are so funny, it's so hard to not laugh at some of the people because when the audience does participate, like, you know, we pull them up and we dance with them and stuff. So it's really funny, but I mean, sometimes you just have to keep it in and not laugh out loud.
Yeah. Well, it's a great musical happening at Churchill Theatre right now. You can give them a call if you wish, 410-758-1331, or go right online, churchilltheatre.org, and get yourself some tickets. The 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. It is neat because it's originally from a workshop that turned into a play that was Crepuscule, was the name of the play, and it's a lot of it's an interesting musical with some great songs by both of you. You do actually you have a showstopper to make everyone laugh, Kyle and Shannon. You will cry before Shannon gets done singing for you. So you need to check it out if you get a chance. Once again, this is Patrick Fee. I'm here with Kyle Lindenberger and Shannon Whitaker, talking a little bit about the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee at Churchill Theatre, happening right now.
The following program is made possible by the Avalon Foundation, MCTV, viewers like you, and Computers of Easton, owned and operated by Bill Klein. Experts in repairs and data recovery, new and used systems, networking, home and office, and on-site service. Computers of Easton, conveniently located in Easton, Maryland.
The programs on MCTV Channel 15 are brought to you by the Star Democrat newspaper. In print since 1799, serving 5 counties on Maryland's Eastern Shore. Harris SBSB, helping clients make smart financial decisions through uncompromising integrity, trust, and personalized service. JR Management Incorporated, welcoming you to the Holiday Inn Express Easton and Comfort Inn Easton. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
You're watching what was it?
MCTV Channel 15.
You're watching MCTV Channel 13.
Say 15.
15? Oh.
And once again, we're talking here at MCTV in the Avalon, in the basement of the Avalon building, talking all about a brand new musical at Churchill Theatre, one that was just on Broadway a few years ago, called the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. And I've got a couple more great actors that are in the show. I want to introduce them. First of all, I have Brittney Lynn, who is, what's your character's name, Rona?
My character's name is Rona Lisa Peretti, and I play one of 3 adults in the show.
So everyone else, although adults are playing children, right? We
yes, one of the actual physical adults in the show, yes.
And also, we have Dylan Lyles, who's playing one of the more interesting named characters, William Morris Barfay.
Yes, Barfay.
But of course,
get it right.
Of course, throughout the entire show, we call you Barfy.
Sadly.
Currently, you're in school?
Yes, I'm starting my 2nd year at Chesapeake College. I'm actually going back full-time. Last year all I took was night classes, so I'm back full-time this year.
What are you looking for? What would you like to do in a career?
Education, actually. I started my first education class this year. I was originally a theater major, but then I realized that I could teach, and that was more of a serious pathway than following up on theater. But I still love doing theater, and that's why I do Churchill.
Great. And speaking of teaching, Brittney Lynn, you've just started a brand new job, I'm told.
I did. I am the new band director at Stevensville Middle School down on Kent Island. I'm a first-year teacher down there. So it's been rather exciting the first 3 weeks of school.
So you're really working with children about the age that they are played in the show.
I am. So it's very interesting to be at school during the day dealing with 12-year-olds and going to rehearsal at night and deal with 12-year-olds.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the music. It's got some beautiful songs in it. Did you find it challenging? What did you think?
With this show particularly was extremely challenging for me because our wonderful music director, Kevin Thomas, really pushed me beyond anything I had ever done before. In high school, when I sang in choir and did shows, I sang alto, I sang tenor. This show, I am screeching and singing soprano 1, so it was a very large and daunting task at times, but it's been extremely rewarding, I think, to really be able to do something I haven't done before.
That's excellent. And what did you think?
It's a lot of different ranges as well. Like, after I got done my audition, the other guys that did the audition, Kevin pulled them off to the side and basically went through each range we will be going to. And it's almost as if the guy that wrote the show was like, I'm going to give these people the most difficult thing to sing ever. And we're kind of like, you can start off here easy and then, like you're just going
William
up.
Finn writes some really intricate stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to actually be able to perform what he's written. So.
And also, yes, because we've got William Finn doing the music and the lyrics, and Rachel, is it Shinkin, I think who actually did the book for this show. And you're right, there's some incredible notes. I think, I'm not quite sure, Brittney, I think you hit a note or two that only dogs could hear. I mean, way
yeah, there's a
high
couple,
up there.
Yeah,
And-
probably
and
some dog whistle range.
And it's interesting also as William Barfy.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch you sing in character, because it's obviously a character very different than you are.
Yeah, my character has a mucous membrane disorder.
Yes, he does.
So I kind of sit there and like talk like this the whole time, and when I'm singing I try to incorporate that in, but sometimes that does get lost in the music, but most of the time I try to keep it as close to my speaking voice as possible.
And we've got a great ensemble cast here.
Oh,
but
yes.
I think for both of you, this is probably the biggest role both of you have had on stage up to this point. Is that not correct?
Yes, well,
Yes.
this and then playing Magenta last year in Rocky.
In Rocky,
so,
of course.
But yeah, between that and this show, these are two biggest roles
For me,
I've
it
ever had.
literally is the biggest role I've ever played. Before, all the other time I'm usually just doing ensemble pieces and stuff like that. But
Well, it's great to see you and hear we have coming up here real soon the next 3 weekends. You can see the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Going to have the people come back on who we interviewed before, so we get a chance to say goodbye to everyone. Got a couple of other. Who don't we have here?
Sam Martin playing Mitch Mahoney. Emily Churas, who is playing Marcy Park.
Mally Hester
Playing Logan Schwartz and Grubenier.
And we want to make sure that you get a chance to see it. It is the next couple of weekends until October the 2nd up at Churchill Theatre. You can give them a call at 410-758-1331 or go to churchilltheatre.org. And the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. It's a great musical. I want to thank all of you for being here. Okay.
Thank you, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Look up there and wave goodbye. They actually sing a goodbye song. You want to be there. You might get a chance to be on stage. We want to make sure that you get there and see a great musical that's very contemporary and very difficult, as everybody just laughs like crazy throughout the entire show. Be there until October the 2nd, the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Thanks.